absolute no-doubter to left for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Crushed it. 468 feet later, and he's flexing, pointing to his bicep as he goes past Tatis and takes his time around the bases.
Boog Sciambi with the call on ESPN Radio. The American League beat the National League 5-2 in the Baseball All-Star Game, the Midsummer Classic last night. The American League continues its dominant run. They won 8th Midsummer Classic in a row, besting the National League. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., he steals the show, homering in the 3rd inning. He took the MVP honors. At 22 years and 119 days old, Vlad Jr. became the youngest Baseball All-Star Game MVP in history, the youngest player to hit a home run in the game since Johnny Benchke in 1969. To basketball, well, our national nightmare is over. Team USA gets a win in exhibition. They beat Argentina 108-80. This is after, of course, 2 concerning exhibition losses to Nigeria and Australia. But they bounced back with the win. The 28-point win was the second largest by a Greg Popovich-coached team, the largest win in an exhibition game under Pop. I'll explain later why I'm not. The Clippers, they have announced that Kawhi Leonard underwent surgery for a partially torn right ACL. Kawhi was injured during the 4th quarter of Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals against the Utah Jazz. That was back on June 14th. He missed the final 8 playoff games with what the team was calling a sprained knee. Obviously more serious than that. SportsCenter, presented by Progressive Insurance. You can save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com.
This entire offseason, he said, no, I don't have a problem with our GM. This isn't about drafting a quarterback. Just shut up. Just shut up.
He wants to torture that Packers front office. He's going to continue to do it.
The Aaron Rodgers story, Key.
Yes. Continues to live.
I just want to hear from you. You know, Han, you might be right. Can I just hear you say that?
About what?
What do you mean about what? About him. All along I've been saying it. I just can't see him sitting out. I see him coming back to Green Bay. And you kept saying no.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's no? Are you sure? I'll tell you what. Before you even answer me, let's do Straight Talk, by the way, Straight Talk Wireless. And let's hear Adam Schefter, who we all trust, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much a voice of authority when it comes to reporting of the NFL and some NBA too, by the way. So here's Schefter.
Yeah, I trust him in the
on
NFL.
The Adam Schefter podcast. On Aaron Rodgers' situation right now, he doesn't want to play for the Packers, but will he?
The fact of the matter is, the truth is, he doesn't want to be in Green Bay. He hasn't planned to be back in Green Bay. Now, we'll see whether the Packers and him can come up with some sort of compromise that can lure him back there. But I don't believe, and I think Aaron Rodgers knows this, that he wants to be back there, nor plans to be back there at this time. He just hasn't come out and said it. Look, the fact of the matter is he loves his coaches. He loves his teammates. He loves many of the people that he's worked with, but not everybody. We'll see how the Packers handle it. But the one thing I feel very comfortable and confident in saying is Aaron Rodgers does not want to play there anymore. The question is whether they can convince him to do it, and I don't know how that is going to work out.
So that's Straight Talk, brother. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. What's Shefty saying there? But we all feel he doesn't really want to play there, but he might have to.
See, the reason now I'm going to woke up this morning, and last night I go to bed, and Aaron Rodgers is not going to be there. But then I wake up again this morning, and after listening to Adam and sleeping on it and thinking about it, I'm saying to myself, okay, I know he doesn't want to be there. Adam knows he doesn't want to be there, and there's others that know I don't like the people in the building. I love my teammates. I love my coaches. I just don't like the people in the building. The word compromise.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to compromise with Aaron Rodgers to get him to play for us because we desperately need him? We tried everything. We tried it all so far over the last several months to convince him to come in workout, training camp, mini camps and OTAs. He refused to do so. But there's a compromise that's there. What's that compromise? That compromise could get him to come back. Is the compromise, I'm going to fully guarantee you over the next 3 years, $200 million. I'm going to also say that this is what we're going to do in terms of Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst, that they will not come on the practice field whatsoever. You will not see them in the locker room.
Out of sight, out of mind. Right?
Out of sight, out of mind. Like, is that the type of compromise that could potentially work in their favor to get Aaron Rodgers to come back? So that gets me to thinking, what's the compromise? Because there is a compromise. You don't give everything at once. You hold something back. And I'm sure when they went out to the West Coast or wherever Aaron Rodgers has been this offseason, they've laid all their cards on the table, but they always kept one in their back pocket just in case. You know that? They're going to keep that right in their back pocket. So that's why I'm like, well, maybe there's something there, because when Adam says those sort of things, your ears go up, and you got to listen to that because he's dialed in. He knows what he's talking about. He's not like some of these other dudes on some of these networks that just throw it against the wall and hope it stick. That's not the case with him. He's not making things up. Mm-hmm. He doesn't sleep. The man doesn't sleep. Like his phones, I feel bad for his wife because his phone is next to him all night long. As soon as it goes off, Adam is on, he's on TV talking about it at 6 a.m. in the morning. So it's like there's something that's there that's telling me Adam is leaning toward him playing for Green Bay this year, even though Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to, but the Packers feel like they got something in their hip pocket that they're willing to give him. Yeah, so that's why I kind of changed. I'm following Adam's lead at this point.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. When I heard him say what he said, and, again, we had Dominique Foxworth in the other day, and he and I both were getting that same vibe. Like, it's just hard to imagine that he's legit going to sit out.
But it's not him. It's the team coming to him with whatever it is in their back pocket.
Be. Hat in hand. What do you need? Like, seriously, you'd have to beg him to come back because of where they are as a team. I mean, we're going to, in a couple of minutes, talk about windows closing for some franchises. If he doesn't play, whatever their window was for getting to conference championships and maybe getting one more Super Bowl, that's closed now. You're resetting everything in Green Bay. So if I am their leadership, I'm absolutely going back to him, hat in hand. What do you want? What will it take? What do you need? What can we do to fix this in some way? And then wait for him to give you those answers, knowing he's not going to give you those answers now. But as we get closer to training camp, as you said, when you start to smell it in the air that it's time to get back on the field, there's a part of him that's going to say, I need to be there, because there is an ego to sports. And when you know you're the best at what you do and some other people start doing it and they get all the shine and you're being forgotten, you don't want that.
It's not even
you want a chance to win while you can.
But it's
not about a chance for him
it's
to
not
win.
about others getting shine, and that's not what it's about. It's about me.
You're not part of the discussion anymore. You're forgotten.
Yeah, no, you're still part of the discussion because I just won the MVP, so I'm gonna always be part of the discussion.
But not in the way you want to be.
No, I'm gonna be part of the discussion.
Fine. Maybe that's not that's not accurate. But it's still, you still want to be out there competing.
The problem is not with the coaching staff.
Clearly.
The problem's not with my teammates.
So let him just deal with Matt LaFleur.
The problem is the front office.
Upstairs, right.
So how do we get that to go away? Well, they're not going to fire him.
Put yourself
in
this situation.
Firing him.
Put yourself in this situation. All right, they're not right. They're not firing him.